You wanted me to cook? I cooked. And they confess and it's beautiful. Oh my god. That's my god. I can't tell him that I want to make out with him. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Yes, we are here to slay another day. My name is E, as in like, it's embarrassing that you're not subscribed to me. I'm joking. It's not that big of a deal. We are doing another Genshin Gympack tier list where we are rating the Genshin Gympack ships based on how they would confess their love to each other. Oh, mi amore. Oh, mi corazon. What's better than hatred, spite, and anger? Love is the answer. Apparently, I prefer the former, but you know, that's just me. On the last ship tier list, we ranked ships based on how I thought they'd break up, and you messy ate it up. I love it, and I knew you guys had it in you. I knew you were that girl. I knew you were. And of course, as always, these are all my opinions. Please feel free to share yours in the comments below. And if you would like, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. And if you want to hang out some more, we are live pretty much all the time on twitch.tv/eissocial. And without any further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, and as always before we begin, we of course have to explain the tiers. The first tier is blunt/perfect communication. Both characters get it. They both recognize they've got feelings for each other, no games, no tomfoolery, no nothing. Our second category is young adult novel, slow burn, pent-up confession. This is the category that every young adult novelist dreams of. It's that Mortal Instruments slow burn. It's that Hunger Games, Peeta Mellark, Gale, Katniss, what's going on. It's do I love you? I don't know. Miscommunication up the wazoo. I'm sick of it. And then we've got drunk confession. One person gets drunk and they let it slip. The other person's like, oh my god, really? Through a friend. This is very on the playground, right? So-and-so said that so-and-so had a crush on you. Very elementary school. Okay, now April Fool's category is where you go up to someone on April Fool's and you go, hey, do you want to go out with me? And if they say no, you've got the backup plan of being like, oh, it was just a prank, haha, April Fool's, Fortnite dances, and you walk away into the corner and then you start crying. The second to last category is note in the lunchbox. Like it's Valentine's Day, you drop a I have a crush on you, do you know who I am kind of note in their lunchbox, or you leave a note behind saying that you love them but you've like gone off to war, you know, very yearning, very I can't tell you directly kind of love. And then this last one is friends with benefits turned into something more. You know, they were just kind of like attracted to each other, they didn't see any romance there, and then after a while one of them has that oh kind of moment. You know what I'm talking about. It's juicy and it's so good. So the first ship, as always, is going to be Bae Guang. Okay, so Bae Guang's kind of hard because I see them in 3 different categories. I see them in drunk. I see Beidou getting a little tipsy sometimes, going up to visit Ningguang's chamber, and then just kind of like letting it all out. I also see it in the same notion being a slow burn pent-up confession. You know, they're always chasing after each other with the finds on the ships and, you know, Ningguang harassing Beidou and, you know, playing chess, but like, does chess mean something more? You know, but I also see them being perfectly blunt because I feel like Ningguang would just tell Beidou. So this ship already is giving me problems. I've explained to you what I think. I think executive decision. I think Ningguang is going to be super blunt with Beidou. I feel like Ningguang's a woman who knows what she wants and gets what she wants. So I don't think she is one to beat around the bush. Pun intended. And I feel like Ningguang will just be like, hey, guess what? I'm gonna marry you one day, Beidou. That's crazy, right? And Beidou's gonna be like, bet. Fischl and Bennett, I think it's gonna be note in the lunchbox. The Adventurers Guild is having like a Valentine's Day party. You give Valentine's to people you like. Fischl's gonna take it dead seriously, right? She's like, today's the day I confess my love to Bennett. Oz goes and steals Bennett's lunchbox. And Bennett's like, oh my god, I'm going to starve. My luck is so bad. I can't believe I lost my lunchbox. Already off to a bad start. Oz brings it to Fischl. She drafts this huge scroll, calligraphy writing, completely in character, saying like, the Princesses de Vertelong has thus courted you to become her lawfully wedded knight, or something. I don't know. I don't speak Fischl, but you know, you get the idea. Puts it in the lunchbox. Oz delivers the lunchbox back to Bennett, and Bennett's like, whoa, what's that? I can't read cursive. What does this say? The end of the script, it says, do you like me back? Yes or no? And Fischl's like in the bushes, like, you know, looking like, Oz, did he check yes or no? I can't tell. Okay, Razor Bennett, I think this is the slow burn YA miscommunication, the house down boots. I feel like Razor and Bennett are both trying to figure out who they are. And then also trying to figure out your romantic feelings for your friend on top of that is definitely gonna, you know, pose some challenges. And especially with Bennett's luck, it's not gonna be smooth sailing. Razor's gonna be like, how do you show your love to somebody, Lisa? And Lisa's like, you bring them flowers. And then Razor goes and brings flowers to Bennett, and Bennett's like, oh, platonically though, right? It's gotta be platonic. And then Fischl's like, like, you're stupid, Bennett. You're stupid. He loves you. And Bennett's like, I don't think so. No one would ever love me. And it just kind of builds up until one evening, Razor's just had it, just says it, I'm in love with you, Bennett, and I don't know what to do about it. And then Bennett's like, our next ship is Zhongli Child. Y'all already know where this one is going, okay? I've read so many Zhangqi fanfics. They were made for this category. Before Zhongli reveals that he's a Geo Archon, before the whole Li Wei incident, I think they're just kind of attracted to each other and they kind of, you know, do something. I don't think that they've confessed like their love to each other yet. And then time progresses, they start to realize that, oh, I feel something for this other person. And it's really, really important for Zhongli because Zhongli hasn't felt this way for another person in a really long time, especially for a mortal. And then the betrayal, right? Zhongli, he's the Geo Archon. Child tried to kill everybody in his nation, whatever. And Child is betrayed that Zhongli never told him. And Child's about to go back on the ship to Snezhnaya. And then Zhongli runs to Child as he's about to board the boat. And he's like, Child, stop. I'm sorry. I'm in love with you. The miscommunication, the yearning, the misunderstanding, it's just like everything is in this ship. Thank you. Moving on. I was gonna add another category for Chilumi for like enemies to lovers kind of thing, but I think I'm gonna turn them instead to friends with benefits, turn to something more. I think they definitely start sleeping with each other first and they kind of still hate each other. So it's still enemies. I think Child always is honest with himself that he has feelings for Lumaine until one day Lumaine actually realizes that she kind of cares for Child underneath all the resentment and the hatred. Lumaine has that oh kind of moment, and I think the moment happens when she's helping take care of Tusser and she sees how amazing Child is with his younger brother. Child has so many layers like an onion. It still will be slow burn, pent up confession. Absolutely. And I think Lumaine confesses. It's so yummy. It's so yummy. Raiden Yai, I just had this vision in my head and I'm a genius, I know. So listen, I'm gonna put it in drunk confession. Let me tell you why. Absolutely is this a young adult novel, slow burn, pent up confession. The miscommunication skills with A is otherworldly. My girl cannot process her emotions in a healthy way at all. I'd like to imagine that once A comes back out of the plane of Euthymia, Yai starts to, you know, reintroduce her to the world as is canon, reintroduces Sake to A. I think A indulges a little bit more often until one night A indulges a little too much and it just slips out. Yai says something funny, A laughs, and A is like, Yai, you make me the happiest woman in the world. I love you so much. It just kind of slips out and Yai is like, what's up? Tell me you would not eat up that 300k fanfic on AO3.gov. Tell me you wouldn't! Eula Amber. I feel like Amber would be pretty blunt, but also I think Amber would be kind of scared because she would fear that she would lose her friendship with Eula. I think it would be really cute if it was a note in the lunchbox. Eula makes the first move to everyone's surprise, and she does it by leaving a note for Amber, maybe on her desk, because Eula can't really muster it up in person. Maybe Eula drops the note before going on a kind of dangerous reconnaissance mission, and Amber reads it and like runs to her before she can leave, and they confess to each other before Eula leaves, and it's beautiful, and oh my god. Okay, Itogoro, guys, this is also YA slow burn pent up confession straight out of the Yai publishing house, because Goro is Miss Hina, and we already know that Ito canonically likes Miss Hina. Ito keeps sending in letters to Miss Hina. Goro loves reading Ito's letters. He realizes that the person sending him the letters are Ito in real life, and he slowly starts falling in love with Ito, but he's like, Ito likes Miss Hina, but he thinks Miss Hina's a girl, I'm a guy, he'd never love me. And then there's a meet up with Miss Hina kind of day, and Goro's terrified that Ito's gonna find him out and be mad at him. But then once Ito does find out, he's over the moon ecstatic because he was upset that he loved Miss Hina and Goro at the same time, and he just didn't know who to pick. And so he's so happy that they're the same person. Oh, and then they confess and it's beautiful. Oh my god. Okay, Ito Ayato. I think this is very blunt. Ayato is a man who knows what he wants and gets what he wants and knows how to get it. He thinks Ito is a blubbering buffoon in a very affectionate kind of way. And then one day when they're just fighting Onikaburo together, Ayato just drops the ball and is like, Ito, I've got feelings for you. I'd like to make this more than just a friendship. What do you say? And Ito is flustered. He starts sweating. His knees are weak, arms are heady. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. He's nervous. And he's like, I think so. Yeah. Ito, Sara, I made April Fools for them. I think Sara begrudgingly admits that she actually has feelings for Ito, and Ito also does the same for Sara. So one day on April Fools, Ito's like, boys, I got a plan, right? Foolproof, I'm a genius. And Ito is fully expecting Sara to just totally reject him. And so then he says, hey, I really like you, Sara. Would you like to go out with me? And then in a turn of events, Sara goes, I've been waiting for you to do this for literally so long, you idiot. Yes, I like you too. And then Ito goes, wait, what? And then the boys jump out and they go, April Fools. because that's what they were instructed to do. And you're just like, wait, no, psh, guys, go away. She said yes. And the boys are like, what? She did? And Sarah's like, is this a joke? And he's like, no, I just thought you were gonna say no to me, but I do actually like you. Jean Luke, guys, we already know. Slow burn. Pent Up Confession is canon in game. I'm not even gonna talk about it. They grew up together. He goes away to Snezhnaya for so long. She's worried sick about him. Miscommunication. He looks too stoic. We already know the gag and the goofs. I don't need to speak any further on this one. Jean Lisa. I think Lisa wouldn't be blunt because they are still co-workers at the end of the day. So I think that she'd kind of keep it to herself. But I think they have some wine one night. They get a little too comfortable. And then Jean lets it slip. Just kind of lets it slip how beautiful she finds Lisa and how Lisa makes her feel really happy. And then Lisa goes, oh, is that so, acting Grandmaster Jean? And Jean, with the confidence of a million suns and with liquid courage, just goes in for the kiss. You guys know this? I'm a genius. Kaya and Albedo, I think it is blunt, perfect communication, because I feel like any ship with Albedo, it's gonna be landing in this category, because I don't think Albedo around. I feel like Albedo is just very analytical, and he's very honest with himself and with others. I think he would recognize that things are happening, things are brewing between him and the cavalry captain, and so one night he just kind of says, Captain, it seems that I have romantic feelings for you. Would you like to explore these together? And then Kai is the one who's flustered, speechless. And then Albedo does his little smirk. Yeah. The time has come for you to lip sync for your lives. I don't want to talk about this ship because I feel like I'm gonna get killed for it. People have such strong opinions on it. I don't care. I don't really ship it. I will say for the people out there, it will be Pent Up YA novel. I don't see it because they are adoptive brothers, and for people in other cultures who do not have the same translations as us, see it another way, definitely Pent Up Confession may be the most YA novel-esque kind of relationship. Okay, Kaya Rosaria, definitely friends with benefits turned to something more. I personally don't really see them in a romantic relationship, like ever, but if they ever do, it's definitely gonna start off with friends with benefits. That's my Rosa Kai agenda, and I will continue pushing it forward. Ganyu Kaching. I also think that Ganyu Kaching would be slow burn, of course, but I think it's gonna come out through a drunk confession. I don't think it's gonna be like an ultimate standoff declaration of your love. Because they are co-workers, it'd be very difficult waters to navigate. And I think just one night, Kaching invites Ganyu over. They're going to relax. They have the day off. They open up a bottle of wine. They drink too much. And then Kaching just goes in for the kiss. But I definitely think that it takes a lot to get there. Kokomi Goro, not my favorite ship in the world, but oh my god, this would be pent up, slow burn, YA novel moment to the max because it's kind of forbidden, the general and the high priestess. And then one night during the war, Kokomi thinks up of a very dangerous battle strategy and she doesn't want to put anybody else in the field to risk their life to do it. So then she volunteers to fight instead. Goro is fighting her, saying, no, I'll do it. I cannot let you do it. And they get into a huge fight. And Kokomi is like, you are my subordinate. You take orders from me. Why aren't you listening to me? And Goro's like, because I'm in love with you and I have to protect you. Fanfic writers, this video is for you. Literally, this video is for you. Okay, now Koko Sara, definitely friends with benefits turned to something more. You know, enemies to lovers. And, you know, they kind of have some secret rendezvous to, you know, hang out with each other. And so, you know, one day they kind of have that oh kind of moment and everything devolves from there. I think Kokomi would be like, I can't keep doing this. I have feelings for you, Sara. And Sara's like, I have feelings for you too. Albedo Mona, also not a huge fan of this ship, but I also think Albedo's in it. So same with Kaya. I think you just be very blunt and just tell Mona. Mona's definitely that girly that looked up the compatibility between their two signs in her scry glass. So I think very much blunt, both of them. Xiangling Ningguang, yeah, no, absolutely blunt. Very straightforward. Again, both refined individuals, both know what they want and know how to get it. Ningguang would make the first move over tea. She'd be like, consultant, I need you to consult on something in my office now. Peepaw has still got it, guys. Sara people, I've done you dirty before in the past, and I will continue to do you dirty to this day. Okay, I'm gonna have to put it in slow burn. Sara is going to be yearning for till the end of time. Talk about eternity. I feel like the moment they actually confess, it'll be awful. They've kind of grown a relationship, God and her servant, over time. Starts to enjoy Sara more than just appreciating a loyal warrior. So one fateful day, they're on the battlefield. Maybe it's the ultimate fight against Celestia, I don't know, in the future. And Sara is fatally wounded. Sees this, kills everybody around Sara, and holds Sara in her hands as Sara is bleeding out. In that moment, Sara can't think of anything but to confess her love to her God. She tells everything, and is having flashbacks to her sister, and she's choking up. She can't reciprocate, she can't say it back until she watches the life slowly leave Sarah's eyes. And it's another regret that A has to live with until she erodes with time, that she never said I love you back before Sarah died. You clicked on this video, okay? You wanted me to cook? I cooked. This is the meal I'm delivering to you, and baby, I didn't say it was gonna be pleasant. Okay. Anyways, albedo sucrose? That would also be very blunt. Guys, I'm devastated. I'm so affected by what I just made up. Okay, yeah, it's albedo in this ship, and it's also sucrose. They just kind of know their emotions, and they'd be very objective about it, and they'd write it down in their little scientific notebooks. Anyways, whew. Toma Ayaka, absolutely slow burn pent-up confession. Toma is the housekeeper. Miss Fivehead over here.
I'm like, what is it me for?
Has such a high responsibility to herself and to Inazuma. I think Ayato would step in and intervene. Ayato would be like that meme where he's like, I gotta intervene. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna intervene. He'd, you know, plant the seeds of thought into Ayaka's brain, into Toma's brain, saying that basically it's okay. It's not that serious, babes. You guys can get together. I think Ayato wouldn't approve of anybody else for his sister anyway. Ayato would kind of like orchestrate them meeting up, and from Ayato's backdoor gaslighting manipulation, they would ultimately confess to each other. So thank you, Ayato, for ending all of our suffering. Okay, Tomato, so slay. Either Ayato would, you know, be blunt about it, or it would also be slow burn confession because Ayato's so busy. Again, servant master dynamics always get a little messy. I think for the girls and the gays, I'm gonna make this one blunt because I feel like Ayato would still act on it. Toma would never confess, guys, so it's up to Ayato. I feel like it would be slow burn after a second, but once Ayato makes up his mind, I'm pretty sure he does something about it. And I think his plan is to maybe fire Toma, but always with the intention of, you know, making Toma his husband. And if you are wondering about the best ship of all time, which is Ayato and yours truly, would definitely be slow burn pent-up confession. I've already woven the tale in my mind. Obviously, guys, obviously. Xiao Aether, this is slow burn. Xiao Aether is slow burn for sure. Like, you can't tell me it's not. And it's gonna be miscommunication. I feel like Xiao is obviously a simp, but then once Aether maybe confronts him about it, Xiao kind of like shuts down and is like, no, I can't. I think Xiao would, you know, his instincts would kick in and be like, I have to protect Aether from me, so I can't let this happen. I feel like it's definitely going to be drama, and I think Zhongli intervenes and tells Xiao that it's okay to love somebody and that he's worthy of love, and then they finally confess after so long. We definitely have to give Xiao some time to let it happen. Lu Mei Xiao, I feel like it's different with Lu Mei Xiao. Xiao is still, you know, very protective of Lu Mei and doesn't want to, you know, hurt her or anything, but I feel like Lu Mei's like, cut the Xiao. I'm an alien, okay? Your karmic debt isn't gonna affect me. I love you, and I know you love me too. So stop around, dude. I'm sick of this. I feel like it could have potential, yes, to be slow burn. My headcanon for Lu Mei is just so strong girl boss. I feel like she would just cut through the and she'd just tell it as it is. Okay, Venti Xiao. It's got potential to be April Fools because I feel like Venti would pull that because he's so silly. Also, I just know it's slow burn. I just know it is. So I feel like Venti would be a little cowardly at the end of the day. He's all bark, no bite. He'd be obviously flirting with Xiao, but Xiao's too daft to like take the hint. But I still don't think Venti would have the courage to just tell him. So I think it would be a lot of pining, you know, a lot of, you know, side glances at the dinner table during Lantern Rite. Zhongli is sick of it. You know, he thinks they're both stupid. And I think Xiao's the one that confesses to Venti. That happens when Venti plays some music and Xiao feels so relieved that it just kind of bubbles all out, and he tells Venti how he makes him feel, and it's beautiful. Okay, Xingqiu Chong Yun. I'm definitely influenced and biased by this artist on Twitter. They go by Noron, I believe. Definitely check them out. They made an amazing Chong Yun Xingqiu comic. It definitely is influencing my opinion right now. That was the definition of slow burn pent-up confession. I'm gonna steal the scenario from Noron, honestly. Go follow them on Twitter. Basically what happened, Chong Yun was very open, honest, and confesses to Xingqiu first, but Xingqiu doesn't really know what's going on with his own emotions, so then he rejects Chong Yun, and Chong Yun doesn't really take it very well, but he's trying to, you know, cover it up until one day Shenhe invites Chong Yun to go train with her in the mountains, and so he has to leave Xingqiu. As they are separated, Xingqiu realizes that he actually has feelings for Chong Yun, and then Chong Yun comes back, and they're both older now, and Chong Yun's hot, girl, and Xingqiu's like, damn, oh no, he's hot. I won't spoil, but of course they confess to each other, and it's beautiful. Oh my god. god, like wow. Aether Ayaka. My get Ayaka wasted and drunk agenda continues on to this day. I think it's gonna be a drunk confession because I think my girl needs some liquid courage. I don't think Aether feels like he's got any right to make a move on Ayaka. I think they hang out one night, they drink, Ayaka pulls out her wet ass socks and starts dancing again for Aether because, you know, she's having a little bit of that liquid courage, and then she confesses to him. It's a little slow burn, but not really. I think it naturally comes into being. I don't think it's too painful for either of them. Ayaka Lumaine, I feel like this is blunt because again, Lumaine's just so girl boss. No, oh my god, I think Lumaine has a plan to how she's gonna confess to Ayaka. Maybe it's on Ayaka's birthday. You know, Ayaka loves going to festivals, so Lumaine leaves a note in her study being like, hey, meet me at this festival at this time. They walk around the festival, and then like the fireworks are going off. Yoimiya is definitely helping, and then Lumaine confesses, and Ayaka is like absolutely flabbergasted because Lumaine ain't dumb. She sees Ayaka for the simp that she really is. Okay, Yanfei Hu Tao. I think I made this for them. I feel like Hu Tao would want to confess to Yanfei, but she wouldn't know how to do it, so she'd get like Yunjin to like test the waters for her, and then Yunjin accidentally like spills the beans to Yanfei that Hu Tao has feelings for her, and Yunjin's like, wait, I didn't mean to tell you that, and Yanfei's like, oh, dead ass, and then confronts Hu Tao about it. Is like, you coward, why'd you use Yunjin to tell me? You just told me yourself, you dumbass. I love you too. And that's really cute, but I think it's indirect. I think Hu Tao is kind of goofy and gaggery. Yoimiya and Ayaka. Okay, Yoimiya is definitely making the first move between the two of them. I'm a little stuck trying to figure out where they should go. I can see them doing note in the lunchbox. I think I can see Yoimiya leaving a beautiful note for Ayaka to read, but I also see them hanging out together, getting some sake, and then Yoimiya making the move on Ayaka. I think I'm gonna put them in drunk confession. I think even though the note is very sweet, and I do think that's also very possible that Yoimiya would write a note for Ayaka, I also think that they would just, you know, drink, have little girls' night together. I don't think they can confess to each other sober. They're too sweet for that. Oh god. Guys, this is the healthiest ship on the planet. Okay, Scar and Mona, multifaceted. Either Scar's gonna ignore it or be super blunt. There is no in between with him, but I think it's funnier if we do it as April Fools. I think it's funnier that Scar and Moosh would say I like you and then trying to like, you know, get with the human customs, be like, oh, April Fools, I didn't actually love you. And then Mona's like, no, it's okay, I like you too. And he's like, I didn't think I'd get this far. There's a lot of places that could go in. I'm gonna go for the more sweeter route. But of course, let me know where you think they would go. They could be in a lot of things. Let me know what you think. Okay, I hate this ship so much. This ship shouldn't exist. I'm so sorry. It should be me and Dia. Okay, let me set the record straight. If anything does happen, it's friends with benefits turned to something more. I don't see that happening any other way. Sayonari, my favorite ship on the planet. I think it's blunt. I see the appeal for it to be super yearning and slow burn. I think Tagnati is blunt and confident enough to just like tell General Mahamatra that they're in a relationship now. Not ask him. Tell him, because Tagnati is not stupid. He sees how comfortable Sino is around him. He sees how well they work together in raising Kale kind of together. I think the relationship will naturally bloom at its natural time, and either Tagnati already knows and lets Sino make the first move, or Tagnati just makes the move for the both of them just to cut the crap. I think that's just how it's gonna go down. Candia, oh my god, Candia. I think I'm gonna put it note in the lunchbox. I think it's really sweet to imagine Dia leaving a note behind after visiting Candace and Aru village, and Dia has to go on like some big mercenary mission, and Candace is like, no, we're not doing this cheesy, sad, mushy gushy shit. Okay, you get your ass back here and marry me, okay? And I think Dia is like, okay. I think Candace is the only woman that can boss Dia around, and I love that so much. Okay, guys, we are using the same tier list as last time, so this right here is happening again. Al-Haytham Nilou derogatory. So last time I covered up Nilou with Kaveh, and that's what I'm going to do again right now. So pretend that this is Kaveh Al-Haytham. Dear Dear God, Lord have mercy on my soul. Jesus Christ, what the This is so painfully slow burn, pent-up confession YA novel that boots house down. Like, it's ridiculous. They were friends before, they stopped being friends, now they're roommates, and now it's complicated because Kaveh feels kind of embarrassed and Al-Haytham was just helping him out. And now they're like, do I have feelings for you? Are you attractive? I'm disgusted with myself. Am I into you? And Al-Haytham is like, God, I think I'm in love with Kaveh. Them getting together will be just as dramatic as them breaking up. I think it takes all of Sumeru to like hype them both up to make a confession. Nahida is telling Al-Haytham to stop being so freaking constipated with his emotions, and the girlies, Dia and Nilou and Candace are like, Kaveh, like he's into you and you're into him. You need to admit this to yourself. And then the confession goes wrong. Someone takes what the other person says the wrong way, and it's just like a mess. When they do confess, it's like all of Sumeru just breathes a sigh of relief. They get into an argument, and Alhaitham has to leave for the desert for a really long time, and Kaveh's like, why are you always leaving me? You know, and then, you know, it comes out like, why do you care so much? Because I'm in love with you. You know, all of that and more. They are ridiculous. I hate them so much. I love them. They mean so much to me. Nilou and Dia, this is so sweet. I think this is through a friend. I think it takes a whole tribe to get them together. Candace lets it slip to Dia, or Dunyarzad lets it slip to Dia. I think it's by accident that a friend tells the other person, but I think after all odds, they finally get together. Just imagining Dia showing up for Nilou's performances and, you know, being very supportive of her, I think is a very beautiful headcanon. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful all the way around. These two NPCs, very obvious note in the lunchbox. Feel like it's made for them a little bit. They talk to each other through letters. Of course, they're going to confess to each other through letters. Probably. Dunyarzad and Dia. Dunyarzad and Dia, definitely pent up confession. Definitely hard because, you know, Dia works for Dunyarzad, but I think Dunyarzad would just keep hiring Dia back to like protect her, even though like Dunyarzad doesn't need it anymore. And Dia's like, why do you keep calling me back? You don't need me. But then Dunyarzad's like, but I do need you, Dia. I'm in love with you. But it would be a long time before that ever happens. Hazel Lumaine, I feel like Hazel is just flirty enough and Lumaine is just girl boss enough that it's blunt. The relationship just kind of like evolves naturally, and Hazel's always flirting with her, and she's like calling him out on his flirts. He's like, Traveler, you're so dreamy. And she's like, okay, do something about it. Kiss me. And Hazel's like, I didn't deduce this was gonna happen. Hazel Aether, on the other hand, this is gonna be so painful. I don't think that they're gonna be able to confess to each other in like a natural way. I think it's gonna be slow burn, pent up confession too. They might act on it one day. Maybe they're doing a case together and one of them gets hurt, and then they finally confess after that. And it's very sweet, very cute, but very painful to get there. Jesus Christ. Donna Diluc. It's so funny that this ship is here and not other ships. I think it's through a friend. I think Donna tells somebody to tell Diluc, and Diluc's like, I already know, Donna. All of Mondstadt knows that you want to get in my pants. We know, girl. And then he, you know, makes the move, and then Donna cheats on him with Kaya, and all is well in the world. This tier list, I didn't make it. Thank you to the person who did. You're doing God's work. But there are some ships that were excluded that I'm now going to tell you about now. So speed round, kind of. Diluc, Venti. One of my favorite ships of all time. Slow burn, pent up confession. Venti keeps procrastinating, telling Diluc. Diluc's like, that's my god. I can't tell him that I want to make out with him. And they finally do. One night in the tavern, Diluc lets it slip to Venti when Venti's like super drunk, but Venti doesn't really get super drunk. He just lets himself get drunk, but he can sober up in a second. He's a god. And Diluc thinks that Venti's asleep, and he says to Venti, I will always take care of you. I love you, or something. And Venti's like, oh, brother, I'm awake. That's the confession. Okay. Kazuha and Wanderer, definitely slow burn, definitely pent up confession. After so much time of chasing after each other, Wanderer finally just lets it blurt out when they're arguing one day and says like, I'm in love with you, Kazuha. I don't know what you want me to about it. It's Wanderer. It's going to be painful. Child and Scaramouche. I think it's going to be drunk confession. I think, again, Tartaglia already knows that he has feelings for Scaramouche, but Scaramouche would like never in a million years ever admit that he reciprocates until maybe they're drunk one night. They're drinking some fire water. This is back when Wanderer was still a Fatui and didn't erase himself from the Ethernet. And then they're both drinking and they're both getting kind of more comfortable. And Child, I think, goes in for the kiss. And Wanderer's like, no, I'm scared. I don't know what this means. I'm scared. And Child's like, don't worry. You're safe with me. Albedo Aether. I think because it's Aether, it's slow burn a bit, but it's also Albedo. So I feel like Albedo would be pretty blunt. One of the experiments one day turns a little sussy, a little saucy. And Albedo, I think, is the one to confess first. And I think it will be eventually a very angsty ship. It's a long distance relationship, but I think them getting together, it's not very painful. I think it's quite straightforward, quite easy, breezy, beautiful cover girl. Yes. For your consideration, Child Kaya. Definitely friends with benefits turned to something more. Enemies to lovers, kind of want to admit that he's actually in love with Child. They just start having a fling just to have a fling, and then, you know, they have an oh kind of moment. I think over drinks it comes out, and then Child Diluc, mayhaps the most slow burn miscommunication on the planet. Diluc hates Child because he's a Fatui member, so of course he does. I think Child makes a confession first. Very painful. It takes years to happen, if it ever happens at all. I think they're in like their mid 30s to 40s. Dilfs falling in love, more likely than you'd think. that is the ultimate tier list. I hope you enjoyed it. This was kind of a little longer video. I wanted to be very specific with my headcanons for these characters. I hope you agree. Again, if you disagree, let me know in the comments below. And also, if you agree, let me know in the comments below. I love reading you guys' headcanons and your takes. It makes me really happy. So we've talked about the rise of these ships. If you want to see the ultimate downfall of these ships. And again, I already made a tier list ranking how I think they'd break up, which was all the tea in the gaggery that you can believe it was. So definitely go check that out next. I also do other tier lists on my channel for a lot of things. If you have an idea for a tier list that you want to see specifically for a Genshin ship tier list, definitely comment it down below. And most importantly, if you want to hang out and talk about ships and just be around really cool people, visit us on twitch.tv/eassocial. I'm live Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and sometimes other days, so just check out the schedule on Twitch to keep up, and also follow me on Twitter to keep up on when I go live. If you want to join the community even further, join us on Discord. The link is down in the description below, as well as the Twitch. Make sure to subscribe, because each subscription stands for one tear that is shed over Sarah's dead body in A's arms. Yep, I mean, yeah, like and subscribe and comment to help support the channel. It helps us so much. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Stay fresh, disrespectfully. Goodbye.